you. Oh, wait, there's
Hang on,
more.
you done?
It should be 6 pages in total.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Good evening.
All right.
Can't talk today. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the September meeting of Ware Park and Rec. We could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Does anybody have any amendments to the agenda? No? Okay. And we'll go right into public comment.
Want to turn your microphone back on?
Hello, gentlemen. My name is Vincent Rowe. You can call me Vinny. I am the new Director at Large Field Maintenance for WAC. I'm going to be the one coordinating with you guys about anything WAC related for the most part when it comes to the fields. I noticed you guys had brought us up a couple of times recently and you were looking for a contact person. So I figured I'd come in, introduce myself so you guys could put a name to the face. I can give you guys my phone number. It is on the WAC website, but I'd just rather not read it out loud for everybody right now. There was a couple of things that I wanted to bring up while I was here. I was just voted in last month, so I'm not able to talk about everything yet because we still have votes that we have to take before I address some things. But a couple of things that I was asked to bring up are field lock and unlock dates. I know you guys are planning on talking about those soon. I don't know if you can give me a rough time frame, just because it's our sports have to coordinate. We do a lot of our planning over the winter time, so we just kind of like to have an idea so we can plan accordingly. And then the other thing is winter access to Inison. I know you guys, I'd seen you guys talk before about how you don't want to just give access to all the coaches. That's understandable. I would like to see if at least I could get access so that during the winter time when we have like basketball and then early spring before you guys unlock, I can get access so our softball coaches can start getting gear out of there. Those two sports do house gear in the shed, so it's kind of a pain if you guys lock the gates and I have to lug it all up from the shed to the gate. So those are the two things I really wanted to talk about. And then personally for me, I wanted to ask about the 5-year and 10-year plans that are in the bylaws. If I'm going to be coordinating with you guys, I'm just kind of like looking for a future so I can plan accordingly for WAC and I can kind of accommodate you guys and whatnot.
Okay, and we like to, the same, like, we'd like to include you guys into what you think your future's gonna look like, so we can work on that together.
Yep.
Probably as things start slowing down, we're gonna readdress that
Okay.
at a harder level. We'll let you know when it's on the agenda, and if you wanna come in, we can talk about that
Yeah.
then.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have an email through WAC that we could?
So right now my personal email is on their website. You guys can email me there to get a hold of me. I am planning on putting together a WAC email
Okay.
specifically for WAC related things, but I wanted at least some email up there now, so.
Yep.
Awesome.
We usually close the gates are usually beginning part of November. Once your guys' seasons are done, usually the two parks get locked. Obviously, we can't lock Carrington because
Yeah.
there is no lock. Yes, we can get you the code to the gate to let you in. The one thing we want to do is make sure, A, you let us know, hey, I'm going in, or especially when you see tracks going in the
Yeah.
snow, and obviously we don't plow it,
Yeah.
and you've got to get in, is make sure also you let us know, but also let the PD know.
Yeah.
Just say the non-emergency number to the PD, to say, hey, I'm going into the shed at Inison, so if you see trails that who it is. Just to stop for just a second, we actually need to announce ourselves to the note taker.
Oh, that's correct. Matt Beeler, committee chair.
Ron Gilman, secretary.
Kyle Cleveland, member.
Randy Dixon, member.
James Drury.
And Dave Lundy, vice chair. So we can get you, just those two things
Yeah,
to make sure that it goes. And then as far as the springtime, it all depends on the weather as
Okay.
far as when we can get you, when you're allowed to get back on. We also need to work with the landscaper to find out when, there's a different landscaper this year as far as when they're planning on having the fields prepped to be able to let you guys.
the landscaper is something I know I plan to address with you guys in the future. I got a lot of complaints personally from a lot of the WAC coaches and a lot of the different sports about the landscaping.
Yeah,
I know personally, I'm a softball coach also. Personally, over at Inison, you don't see that entrance till you're right on top of it. Like, that brush could be cut back some, down the side could be cut back a little bit down that little road that goes over towards the shed, stuff like that. I mean, and it may not be stuff that you guys had addressed with them up front, but it's something that I want to bring to you guys' attention so that we can handle it before it becomes an even bigger issue. But I know that's something in the future. We plan on discussing stuff like that I have a whole list of stuff on an agenda that I have to discuss at our next meeting. So there's, like I said, there's a bunch of stuff that I can't quite address, but I can kind of roughly give you everything.
and the other thing with Inison is that concession stand is still on your guys' books because it hasn't passed approval from the
Building inspector.
building inspector. I'm like going, oh, I think he's building inspector, so that's something that we need to get addressed and
Yeah.
get done. And I'm sure you guys wanna get that off your books and onto the town.
Honestly, we're not, it's no rush for us. We have it insured. That is something that I plan on addressing at our next meeting, so I can't go too in detail. I will say that I have been watching some of the recent meetings, and I did go looking after you guys had mentioned it previously. Based on minutes that I found from November 2022 from Parks and Rec. It looks now, it has a photocopy of an image of what the inspector had put in that needed to be addressed. And I looked at it, you can't really zoom into too much because it gets distorted.
Yeah.
But from what I could make out and from what I've seen personally over at Inison, it looks like most of that, if not all of it, has been addressed. There's one that I'm really unsure about because you just really couldn't read it well. But it looks like most or all of it has already been addressed and is already taken care of.
So then what we wanna do is, we'll have to see if we can get with the building inspector.
Yeah, so I mean,
And we'll see.
yeah, if he
when's
sees
your
anything.
availability during the days.
So I'm a bus driver here at school.
Okay.
Oh, so I mean, during the days, as long as you give me advance notice, I'm pretty wide open.
Okay.
When I'm not driving, I substitute usually up at the high school. So, like I said, I just need a little bit of advance notice, so I plan not to sub that day.
Yeah, of course. Well, no, I mean, yeah, just so we can get, obviously, somebody from WAC there, we'll get somebody from our group there, and get the building inspector just to kind of go through and say, here's everything to take care of.
The other thing that I was gonna ask about that is you guys kept on saying that it needs a certificate of occupancy. I don't understand why that building needs a certificate of occupancy. That building is a storage shed. There is no occupancy for that building, so it should not require, a certificate of occupancy is going to require a whole lot more than anybody is going to want to put into that storage shed.
We might have to dig, I don't remember that being brought up, but, I mean,
I know you
At
guys-
least that's
I know
what you guys kept on referring to it as in the last couple of meetings, so, I mean, maybe you guys misspoke about, like, calling it the wrong thing.
That's possible.
But- I'm just trying to understand, because I heard the term certificate of occupancy, and with my years in the construction trade, because I worked for quite a while in construction, as soon as it was said, I was like, what? I was a little confused by it, so I just wanted to verify.
Would it apply to the concession stand component?
So the original requirement was that the concession stand needed to be separated from the storage facility. The concession stand is completely separated. It has its own entrance, lift gate entrance for people to walk up to, and it's got its own private door entrance. It is separated completely.
Okay. I will contact the building inspector and ask about, the certificate of occupancy. If maybe, again, and I can dig through some of the minutes and try and see where that came up and try and get some research on it.
We can just tell them, hey, look, it's a storage shed, it's this,
Yep.
and just see what needs to be completed, so they can go, if he'll sign off and say it's good to go, then, we'll have to get with the Board of Selectmen, and,
Like, will we have to hold a new public hearing?
Well, we have to vote to release it first.
yeah. I mean, obviously, then we can start going through
Yeah.
the steps to
That's the first thing, is that
Yeah, we gotta
we,
get with the board, we gotta get with, and making sure that it's done, and he'll say, yes, it's safe, you can go. I know at one point, he deemed the stairs going to the second story.
they did not have a railing on them at one point. There is a railing now. So at one point there was a railing that went up the stairs and on the flat of the landing for the upstairs. But when you walked out the door, this section here that went back to the building didn't have a railing on it. So they've since added the railing there. And the bottom part where it extends out past the building is less than 3 feet, so it shouldn't need a stair rail, because usually it's under 3 feet, you're not required to have a stair rail.
3 feet or 3 steps, I think so.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's right at the third step it meets the building, so.
And that could depend on the inspector too.
Yeah.
The previous inspector could.
Yeah, I've had inspectors be a real pain about it,
Yep.
so.
Okay, so yeah, I'll reach out, I'll try to get that scheduled, and then I'll contact you. And we'll try and get on everybody's schedule for that. The one thing I did wanna ask of y'all with that building is,
Cleaning up around it.
yes, please.
Yes, I am already on it. I talked to the vice president. I'm in the process of putting together a quote to get a dumpster there. A lot of the stuff that is out there or behind it is like metal roofing from when it was constructed and old vinyl siding. So I want to just get a dumpster out there and get it all taken care of in one shot, rather than loading up my car half a dozen times or a dozen times and, getting it out of there. So I have already talked to them about it. I'm going to be calling around and getting pricing on a dumpster so I can go ahead and get that dropped, and I'll just take a day or two and get it all honed out of there.
Okay, that sounds great, thank you very much.
Yeah, and we are on all of our facilities now, carry in, carry out. So whatever garbage you guys create from the concession stand needs to be removed.
So we are not using the concession stands during soccer this season
Okay.
at Einison. If we do start using the concession stands again during softball and stuff like that, we planned on either putting one of those Rubbermaid dumpsters, we talked about that, with trash barrels in it, so that we can clean up after ourselves. I'm more concerned about parents. I don't want them leaving a mess and then us catching flack for it. So I'd rather have something there on site for us. If not, I know you guys have spoke about we can cover the cost of a dumpster. That's something that WAC will determine is what's best for us as we get closer to that period.
Okay. Okay, yeah, just as long as there's the understanding
Yeah.
that just this year we're not doing dumpsters, and I don't know if we're gonna return to that, just the cost versus usage didn't work out. And it's working very better for us on the budget side.
I mean, it might be working on the budget side, but I've been to the fields lately, and I was at Barrington the other day, and I picked up a whole good-sized trash bag full of trash from over there. And it's not youth kids. I have vapes that are laying on the ground. I picked up beer bottles and stuff like that.
We have an issue at that bar
Yeah.
with drinking at that bar.
There was some other stuff that I noticed over at Einison when I was over there, figuring out what was in there for trash around that I picked. I mean, I try and take everything out with me that I see because I want to leave it clean, but I think a lot of times, maybe before you guys get there and see how it looks, somebody like me that's using it on a regular basis is picking it up. So, I was actually going to make the suggestion to you guys was to think about maybe getting some of those Rubbermaid dumpsters with some trash barrels in there, and then you could even, rather than having a full-size dumpster and getting it emptied out, you could even use, what's the name here in town?
Yeah.
$10 trash pickup and have them just hit the fields, yeah.
Yeah, we could talk to them about that.
It's not a terrible idea.
Not necessarily, no, it's something to look into over the winter and see what we can work out. And we do appreciate you picking up stuff when you're going down.
Well, we're all going to use it, so we have to peacefully coexist, and we all have to take care of it is really what it comes down to.
And Ware PD I called Ware PD and let them know we were having issues down at Purington and Bolton. people
Yeah.
hanging out, partying, stuff like that. So they're trying to be on top of it at
I mean-
night as well.
Right now, I'm down at Bolton pretty often, just because my son plays for the Generals, so I'm down there fairly regularly. I'm at Idison fairly regularly to get into the shed, because I'm trying to, help get things organized over there and trying to get us so we're smooth and seamless. And then I've been at Peerington lately because I had some coaches reach out to me about some ground hornets that they were having an issue with. So at Peerington.
At Peerington?
Yeah. So they were beyond the soccer fields over by the porta potty and over by the baseball field, as well as there was some nests on the buildings. We've taken care of the nests on the building, exterior of the buildings for the most part. The buildings we can get into, we've taken care of the nests in there. I've sprayed some of the holes in the ground. Usually with ground hornets or ground wasps, if it's a smaller nest, you can get away with just spraying it, but if it's a bigger nest, then I'm going to have to treat it differently, and it's going to require a powder treatment that they track into the nest with them to kill everything. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up that we were dealing with that. Since they've been sprayed, the coaches have said that it seems much better.
Okay.
So I'm going to just kind of play it by ear from this point and see how it goes going forward.
Okay.
And I can let you guys know if I have to do anything else.
Okay. Definitely keep us posted, and maybe we look into getting that cleaned up on our end as well. Yeah,
Get out and spray it.
yeah, we need to get out and spray it, so maybe we coordinate treatment,
Yeah.
even if we have to call somebody to come out and.
If you guys go out there at all, I did have a couple of my coaches that were there on a regular basis take a can of marking paint and just spray the holes in the grass that they found so I could locate them a little bit easier. So you may see some spots of paint. It's not somebody vandalizing the field.
No, that's perfect,
No,
that's perfect.
yeah, and if they do it in like orange or something, that kind of sticks out a little
Yeah.
bit easier if you got, if you got if you got orange instead of the white, because obviously we know that the white are off for the
Yeah.
soccer lines.
I'm pretty sure the coach who picked it up said that they grabbed orange, so
Okay,
because they have all white for their lines to paint the fields.
super, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. And if you guys find any more, let us know,
Yeah.
we can try and keep on top of it as well.
Yeah, that was just something that popped up like in the last week, and I was like, we handled it as quick as we could because we had a couple of kids that got stung.
Okay.
So we just wanted to get it handled as quick as we could, and I thought about it. I was like, I'll make sure I bring it up this week so you guys know what's going on with that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else to go over right now?
Off the top of my head, no, not that I can. Just because, like I said, I have to clear some things with them before I bring it to you guys and see if they want to handle things internally differently. And if I was to speak right now, I'd just be speaking for my personal,
Yep,
not
I understand.
not for them. But no, that's about it that I can think of.
Okay, super. I think winter time is definitely the best time to go over this stuff so that everybody can get a plan and be on the same page, and we can address it as soon as the snow clears.
Well, I've been pushing to take care of the shed and deal with the shed situation because I saw you guys had said something about locking it up come wintertime, and unfortunately, like I said, that houses a lot of stuff for our sports, and we need access to that.
Yep.
So I wanted to make sure that we'd be able to get access in there.
Is the shed at Bolton, the one up by the softball field, is that ours or Wax? There's a storage shed up by the softball.
I believe that is you guys. I believe the only thing that
Oh, the one right next to the
Bolton.
ball field?
Bolton, the one, there's
Way on
a
top of
little
it.
teeny shed that's behind the baseball.
Right.
It's a baseball that I've been out of softball.
Okay.
It's a baseball, and that's actually a whack shed.
is it okay.
The
I'll
one
touch
thing
base
with
with
that
them.
is, you guys may wanna put a drip rail or something, because where the water's just basically running straight off the roof and right down the doors.
Yeah.
So I know that those doors are getting rotted out, and I know that's
The
where-
door is rotted out. I could barely open it the other day.
I feel like
And
that's a
then-
constant thing. Every year I've looked through minutes all the way back to 2016 regarding the shed and stuff like that, and I feel like every year there's at least one door that rots out that's getting reported to Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel like
so-
every meeting it's door at this field, door at that field.
Yeah, no, that's where you guys keep your lime and that stuff for the baseball, and it's also where I believe there's actually a field liner in there and paint for the soccer.
Okay,
So whoever we're lining the soccer, I believe that's where they get it out of. I know the generals have their own
yeah, they have their own,
paint sprayer and everything else like that in the back of the shed down by the football field.
Yeah.
I line the soccer fields at Bolton. So, there is a sprayer in there. If you can open the door, what's left of the door, so.
I have the code to open it. I can try and open it, but,
Yeah, that was something we've been talking about for a while now.
yeah. Well, like I said, I've been watching regularly for the last 6 months. It's just been trying to coordinate getting in here. So I've been keeping up to date with what you guys have been talking about and kind of putting together some ideas. I really liked your idea about the fishing derby. I actually thought about that like the week previous, and then I watched the meeting. I was like, son of a bitch, that was a good idea that he took from me. So, but anything else for me?
The shed at Puritan, the old concession stand, is that ours or theirs?
I thought that was ours.
Ours, okay.
The only building that's not, from what I understand, which is technically still not on the town's books, is the new concession stand at Heinesen.
Okay.
The other two, so 2 or 3 on the far, coming down, I can't remember.
There's
now.
two, side by side.
Yeah, two stars, yeah.
Yeah, there's only one of them actually has the pump for the irrigation is in the one further down the road.
Okay.
The other one, I don't know what's in it. I know that the metal for the skate park, the pieces from the skate park metal is in there, and I think there's a couple other,
There's a bunch of pieces for the skate park metal behind the building also, behind the building at Anderson. Because that's one of the things that I was talking to somebody who's been there for a while, and that's one of the things I was told not to touch because that belongs to the town. So that's whatever you guys want to do with it.
that will probably end up moving over and putting
Yeah.
into that pump piece.
I don't
to
think
get
you're
it
gonna.
out of,
I don't think you're gonna fit it in there. They're like bigger sheets of metal, so I don't know. I don't know that they'll fit in there. I don't know. I haven't been over to inspect the door and see like what size it is, but I don't know that you'll have space to fit them in there or not.
Sheets of metal. I don't know why we would have sheets of metal.
Oh, they were on ramps and
Yeah.
half pipes and things like that, I would guess.
I was just told that was stuff from the skate park and not to touch it because
Okay.
they didn't know what you guys wanted to do with it. Last they were told was that that I was asked to get everything else out of there and leave that there, and then once everything else was out and that stuff was there, to touch base with you guys,
Okay.
and you guys could coordinate. I think they said, I don't know if it was you guys or the previous Parks and Rec, but had said something about scrapping it or something like that. I don't know.
Alright, well, yeah. if
We'll look
you-
into it.
Yeah, if
We'll
you
look
guys
into
are
it. If
going
it's
through
still
your
there, we'll-
stuff,
Yeah.
And then once that's done, let's get together and we'll go down and take a look at it, so I can get an idea of what we're working with and try and find somewhere to store it, I guess.
yeah, because I mean, to scrap that, because that's expensive to
Yeah.
replace.
Yeah.
And I know we used that to build the new smaller half pipe that's over at the skate park now.
Yeah, like I said, that could be, I misunderstood what they were saying. It was them passing a message to me that had come from you guys previous. It's like a game of telephone, you know.
Yeah.
The other thing that I just wanted to address with you guys real quickly is, do you guys know if DPW has been over to Inison at all? Because it looks like somebody went through with a side mower and took out a whole bunch of trees, like smaller trees right along the field, which is fine because I was planning on doing that anyway personally,
So
but they
the-
left a giant mess right at the woods line.
The,
Town
the
had,
landscaper went through.
oh, the
The
landscaper did?
landscaper went through, because he did a bunch of work at Bolton as well. And he's the one who went and, you're talking about all down the side behind the
He
ball
went
field
out, yeah,
fence.
I don't know if he did that. I mean, you would have had to have a big piece of machinery to do
He
that.
told me he did all that.
Well, he didn't, he just left it right on the woods line. It looks ugly. It's, if kids are running around playing, I know parents should be keeping an eye on their kids, but if kids are running around playing and somebody trips on that, it's very easy to get busy when you're a parent in the sport and the other kids take off running.
Yeah.
But I mean, some of the trees that he took down were like chewed up and they were like this. So I thought it might have been the town with the side mower, but
Is that,
We could check.
Yeah,
We'll
we
find
Yeah.
out and get it.
yeah.
I know the town had hired a subcontractor to do some roadway mowing I've seen him around town a few times. He did.
Yeah, I had to deal with them on River Road.
He was over on Thorndike. So I don't know, maybe he did, but
But last I was there, they moved one of the, like the telephone pole things that were used to like line the field so vehicles couldn't get on.
Yeah.
He had moved one of that to get his piece of equipment on, and it was not put back.
didn't put it back.
Okay.
So,
All right, I'll reach out to the landscaper. I have their number and see if they were the one. I'm pretty sure they were, but if they were the ones who did it, and if there's any issues, I'll have them address it.
okay.
We are totally aware of a lot of the concerns with the, not the landscaper. They're pretty much following the contract as we essentially wrote it. As they started working on stuff, we realized that there are some things that we missed or some things that we would like to have cleaner, done better, but they're not in the contract as it is right now.
Wasn't it in the contract to drag the fields? Because I don't think they dragged the field. I don't think they dragged Inison
It
not
wasn't
once
in
this
contract
season.
for them to drag the field.
I don't
Yes,
think
it
they
was.
dragged Inison not once this season. Maybe once at the beginning of the season, but
I
the
think
rest of the
it was-
season we were dragging it to in
Okay.
order to play.
So I'll
So
have to look into the contract.
there was and where the fence was that I know is a little bit of a bone of contention right now. The plastic fence that was put up and then was damaged. Where that was, there was no weed whacking done along that. When that came down, we had to clear all that up ourselves, and so I know there's just been a lot of complaints that I got about that I wouldn't be doing my due diligence if I didn't bring them up with you guys.
No, absolutely. And it's.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, we understand and we appreciate it. We've been addressing it.
Mhm.
It's just more for us to address.
Yeah.
But as it is right now, they're, for the most part, just following the contract as written. And we'll have to decide if we're gonna be able to do anything with it at this time. The basic stuff, weed whacking around equipment, that's obviously part of the deal. But,
Yeah.
pushing stuff back, cleaning back the area, the entrance to Inus and stuff like that.
Would definitely be extra.
Yeah, it'd be extra as the contract is written right now.
Yeah.
So I'll dig through that. I know I've got it at the house printed out, and then I'll contact you and see what's on that versus what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem helping out where need be, to make it better for everybody, but just one of those things that I drive by on a regular basis and I nod my head at it because I'm like, based on what you guys are paying, you would think that would be taken care of as well. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things. I know what you guys are dealing with budgetary wise. Like I said, I've been following for at least 6 months now, so I know budgetary there's some concerns to take care of stuff. So it's like, just one of those things.
Yeah, I get it. But yeah, it's all by contract, so
Yep.
we couldn't add anything at the moment, I believe, without having to speak to the board of select and whatnot, but I don't think we can do anything with the contract at the moment. But again, I'll look into it and reach out to you.
Is that a yearly contract? Is it up every year or did we?
No,
a
3 years.
year?
3 year,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm not sure how that would
No,
work
3
out.
years or was it 2 years for this one?
I thought it was 3 years.
It's usually, I think it's 3.
Yeah, I think it's-
You'd have to look. I
Not
thought it was,
100% sure.
what?
Not 100% sure.
Yeah.
I thought it was a 2-year I thought it was a 2-year contract, but I'd have to go back and pull the contract. I got the contract sitting at home as well. I'd have to pull it to look at it.
Yeah. So, we'll dig into it and see where we can go with a lot of that stuff. I mean, like bowling.
Yeah.
Somebody, with junior generals volunteered their time and equipment to clean that up. And I
Yeah,
think it looks
John Brown.
phenomenal.
Yeah, John Brown came in and
Yeah.
did it.
And, I was gonna recommend in the future, when the landscaping contract comes up again, is, maybe that's the standard.
Yeah, I mean, if John Brown came in, they donated a portion of, they donated so many dollars worth or so many hours worth, and then actually WAC and the generals paid them we split the cost of what was left to have it taken care of. But I agree that should be the standard because that it looked great going
Yes.
in, and then I look at that and I look at Inison all softball season, it's enough to make you want to throw your hat sometimes.
And there's a lot that wasn't discussed about where exactly, you're mowing here and you're clearing here, but where exactly is that borderline between
Yeah.
mowing and wood
Yeah.
line. And now Einison really got grown in
Yeah.
by 4 or 5
Just
foot.
right down the road, and then like in the back where the skate park used to be, you know, that's all way overgrown, and you know, parking can get brutal there sometimes. So if we had that cleared out, you know, it might make it a little bit easier parking wise to use that area.
I
So
think there's some picnic benches that are now.
probably way over. I saw that. I saw you guys mention that, and the next time I went to Einison, I looked around and I said, "Where the hell are the picnic benches?" I could not locate them anywhere. So if they're there, they're way overgrown.
Yeah.
Pretty sure they're in the woods.
Yeah.
No, they're right on they're on, if you go in and go to the left, they're down
Yep.
on the outside part of that parking lot.
Yeah, down at the bottom of that parking lot on the outside. But yeah, that's all overgrown.
Yeah, I think they're well overgrown by now.
Okay.
But I'm going to be over there again this week.
Okay.
Hoping to get approved to get a dumpster either this week or next week. I'd like to try and get that mess taken care of before wintertime rolls in, obviously. And so I should be down there fairly often over the next couple of weeks when I'm not driving for the bus.
Okay. So yeah, we'll definitely let you know what date we settle on for locking up the fields. We'll get the code to you, so you have the winter access. We'll continue with the building inspector and stuff for that shed. And then, you know, let's continue working together with the Hornets at Purington, and we'll just follow up on the rest
Yeah.
as we can.
And like I said, when the next meeting, I was gonna do it at this, I was voted into the last meeting, that we didn't have one this month because everybody was out of town. So, the next meeting, I plan on bringing up a bunch of stuff, and I'll be able to come back and kind of address you guys more directly about some of the concerns.
Sounds good.
Alrighty?
I'll second. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Vinny. We appreciate your time.
Thank
Yeah, no problem. I'm probably gonna hang out, because if not, I'm just gonna go home and watch it on YouTube.
Hang out.
All right. Public thanks. We spoke about it. John Brown volunteered time and machinery to clean up Bolton. And now we've learned that WAC has been doing some stuff around the fields, and we appreciate that. Makes, I think, everybody's life a little bit easier. And we'll just continue the communication so that we're all on the same page instead of, you know, once a month update kind of stuff. But thank you guys for all that, which I really appreciated. So Dave was able to copy the minutes from July and August. If we could all just take a few minutes to go over them to make sure they look okay, I'd like to have them approved and finalized so we can try and keep up to date on all that.
don't know if I'm allowed to make a motion for minutes I wasn't present at with the
Yeah.
July ones.
Yeah,
But,
go for it.
all right, yeah. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes as they're written for the July 15th, 2025 and the August 19th, 2025 meetings.
I'll second both.
We're gonna vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any against? No. Minutes are accepted as written for July and August. Thank you.
Okay.
Is Kristen available, or do you want to go through some other stuff before
Go through
we?
some other stuff. She's at the school board meeting currently.
Okay. All right. Fall festival / trunk or treat. Want to jump into that real quick?
Yep.
Okay. So, oh, Kristen knows most of the details. We decided that we were gonna involve ourselves with trunk or treat again. Ron is gonna get the, Randy, I'm sorry. I do this all the time, I
That's
forget my own name. Is gonna get the sandwich board for us, we discussed
Yep.
that. This is an example of the pumpkin buckets that we ordered last year. We have 48 right now.
Man, we got rid of a grip of those things.
Yeah.
Awesome.
In storage right now. I believe we discussed doing, hiding them around town, before trunk or treat. And anyone who brought one of those would get a large candy bar, etc. And that we would hand out small candies like we did last year to others who wanted to come in. Is everybody still good with that for now?
Yeah, do we have a date and a time and location for all of this stuff?
I know it's gonna be at the middle school. When is it?
In the parking lot?
27th or something like that?
So-
The
27th
Saturday
seems-
before?
I think it's, Halloween's like a Tuesday or something?
You know, I should know this since my wife is organizing it.
I guess it'd be 26th or 27th, just based upon Halloween falling.
It's the Saturday before Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoops. So October
25, okay.
25?
That sounds, yeah, if that's the Saturday before, then that's, yeah, that should be it.
And what times?
I'm finding out right now.
Oh, okay.
I swear it was like 1
like
to,
early afternoon.
1 or 2, because it
Yeah.
was, sun was kind of setting at 4 o'clock and.
Yeah, I believe they're doing it as, I believe it's 1 to 5, I believe is what it is.
But yeah, I'd say kind of weather permitting, if we can scatter them around town, awesome, and then if not, then kind of recirculate them back a little bit closer to the Hornet's Nest and.
Well, in the past, we've done Bolton, we've done, the libraries, we've done the gazebo, and we've done town hall. I would avoid Bolton because that's, sometimes what happens is when we had real pumpkins, people would just, oh, we didn't get any back from Bolton. We actually color coded the tags, so we knew what park had what colors, and that would, I would have to check and see. It's probably out on the team drive is the artwork, and it's, we just use different color construction paper,
Yep.
and we just kinda put them in different spots, and we would know what park they came back from. We knew that, no one else would kinda know why is there different colors,
Yep.
but,
Is it worth throwing just a Sharpie 1 through 50, 1 through 10, 1 through whatever
I
on
think
the
that's
bottom of it, and just
fine, yeah.
kind of take a peek, check it off, and then we know that at least there's 10 of them missing in the wild that
Yeah, there's accountability.
need to be
Yeah. And
reclaimed.
it's cheap to just write a number on the bottom, so.
Yeah.
So the trunk or treat is gonna be October 25th from 3 to 5 at the middle school. And setup will start at 2 o'clock. We will be next to the PTO like we were last year, right there at the beginning. I think using strictly town property, maybe not Bolton, because I think the only people who would benefit from having them at Bolton is people on the south side of town, unless people
Well, it's
really
also,
want to run down
there
there.
may be a football game,
Yeah,
and that's the problem we ran into is they don't, especially anybody who's playing in, that's why I would avoid any of the fields
mhm,
and put them someplace else. So the gazebo, you can put them at the library, you can put them at town hall.
Could have put them at some of the cemeteries. No?
We've
Spooky,
never-
spooky
we've
season.
never done it before, and I
We've
don't
never
know if
done
we
it.
want-
I'll
I
just
don't
throw
really
out
think-
an idea.
I don't think putting them at,
Yeah.
that would be,
I like the spooky idea.
I like the spooky
I was
idea.
just throwing out an
I just don't
idea.
think that that would be,
I mean,
we don't want kids running through.
No,
running
that's
through
fair.
it and
Yeah.
stepping on gravestones or anything else.
That's
Bolton
fair.
Playground,
I was,
No, I would stay away from Bolton completely.
period.
well, we could use Ineson and Purington though. I don't think anybody's gonna be out at Ineson and Purington in October, especially end of October, right?
I don't know, I don't know what that season is.
Idison should be fine, but depending on what the football season looks like and how well they do, you will be running to the beginning of November.
Okay. I say we try and incorporate Ineson. I mean, we got 48 pumpkins to hide. Cramming them into town hall, the library, gazebo, and we'll say the school.
Yeah, we used to use Center Woods.
Actually, we could use, yeah, if we use Center Woods and then town property around here, we should be able to hide 48. Hide. Yeah, why don't we go with that? So we'll go at CWES, Town Hall, the gazebo, skate park.
Yep.
Library.
I wouldn't do the middle schools just because that's all gonna be fall festival and everything else like that. While the trunk or treat may be 3 to 5, I know that they're doing their fall festival when it
Mhm.
starts earlier in the day.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think we should be able to work with that. Do we have any volunteers to man the candy station?
Happy to do it again.
I might as well do it because I'm gonna be there anyway.
As far as getting the pumpkins dispersed, I mean, is that something we want to meet up at 9 o'clock or something early in the morning? Just, I imagine 30 minutes of divide and conquer.
Yeah, maybe an hour from going for the elementary school to here total, you know.
Well, we wanna be able to post it too, so
Yeah.
you'd have to say, hey, look, the pumpkins will be out by 9, go find one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll meet up at
We gotta
9,
figure
they'll
that
be
out.
out by 10.
Even if it's early or whatever, I mean, I'm more than happy to meet up at, yeah,
Okay.
earlier is easy over with the kids, but more than happy if it's 9, 8, whatever.
All right, we can meet up at 8.
Okay.
And have everything out by 9. When Kristen can put that out on the
Facebook
on the
page.
social. So we'll go with, yeah,
Go
everything
find
will
a,
be out by 9,
find a pumpkin from 9 to 3, you get 6 hours of
basically, yeah.
quit it.
Did we set a budget for the buying the candy just yet?
I feel like we were putting that on tonight's meeting,
Okay.
if I remember correctly.
Alright, what did we spend last year?
Was it 250?
I was gonna say 250 sounds about right. We might, if we're gonna get big candy bars for the pumpkins, we might need to bump it up.
340 pumpkins with a big candy bar, $1 whack.
Candy bars are more than $1 a piece now.
Yeah.
Good point.
I don't think we
$2 a
had, we didn't
piece.
have really much candy left over.
And buckets were a part of that budget last year too, weren't they? Or was that a completely
No, buckets were
separate?
separate.
We did 250, I have it as we did 250. Is that in our minutes?
It should be in the minutes because we voted on it for spending the money. We had to have a vote on that. It's 15 October, so we had to vote on that the month before.
Oh, no, it was the sandwich board, was the 250. So it's on the middle
Okay, so,
on the middle of page, or down near the bottom of page 2.
no, I got it. Budget of up to $1,000 out of rec activity budget line 631 for a pumpkin hunt in conjunction with the PTO trunk or treat. I believe that budget included pumpkins and candy. So since we don't have to order pumpkins, candy is significantly more expensive this year.
Cut it in half.
Yeah,
That should more than enough.
yeah, we don't have to use it all.
I thought you had cut the candy in half.
Do both.
Cut the budget in half.
You get half the candy bar, I'm sorry.
We can price it out through Sam's, because we have a Sam's Club membership, and
Yeah.
usually you can get it through Sam's pretty cheap.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to use all 500. You know, the big thing is 48 big candy bars, and then, you know, bounce the rest off of what we think we're gonna need for loose candy.
Guess I'll call the $100 in big bars and
Basically. And I can get some numbers on the small, like, I'll see what, PTO is spending on small candy, how much they're getting, and we can bounce it off of that, I think. So, can I get a motion for, a budget allowance to order candy for the, pumpkin hunt / trunk or treat?
which line item are we coming out of?
631, which is recreation activity.
Perfect. I'd like to make a motion to appropriate $500 out of account number ending in 631 for the Halloween trunk or treat.
Let's say up to 500.
Up to 500.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
I need a second.
Oh, sorry.
Can I get a second on that?
I will second the motion.
Okay. Thank you. All right, all in favor of spending up to $500 coming out of the account 631 recreational activity for Halloween trunk or treat?
Aye.
Aye.
All in favor? Kyle, you just want the two of us to keep working on that?
Yeah.
Everybody good with that?
Anybody wants to come join?
Yeah,
Yeah, schedule depending.
yeah. No, I mean, come down, hang out, you know. It's a little more organized this year, I think, especially having the sandwich board. People know that, you know.
Do you want to see what I propose for the sandwich board before I go and do this? It's basically going to say, welcome. This event is sponsored by the Town of Ware Parks and Recreation Commission, possibly with the logo, and then our just email.
I think that's
Beauty.
perfect. Yeah.
Perfect. Front and back.
Front and back,
Front, back,
yeah.
same, yeah. Perfect.
And then 2 straps so I can wear it around when I...
We have a Parks and Rec Facebook page. Could we put like, everybody puts the little tags for the social
Oh, yeah.
medias. Can we do that? I know that's
The little
probably gonna
QR
throw-
code for the-
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it doesn't even have to be that fancy, maybe just like the Facebook picture. The logo. But this is just, again, outside of the box.
No, that's, I mean, where else are we on there? How else can people get in touch with us? Or find out about us?
I think for social media, it's just
Just
Facebook.
It's on the town website, it's on the town website.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't use Facebook, so I'm not familiar.
For free.
Yeah.
Put the QR code on there and everybody has a smartphone nowadays.
Correct.
Yeah.
But there's we don't have a QR code yet, though, do we? Sorry, Facebook?
You can get one created
Yeah, we
for
do not
free
have one at this time.
online.
It's just an app you download to your phone, you
Yeah.
put in the link, it creates a QR code, and you save it.
Save it and put it, when you put in the documents for them to make it, they can just add the QR code to it, but again, you can literally get a sticker at any point in time.
What,
We don't necessarily have to do QR code at
No.
this time, because Kristen, yeah, I wouldn't do it.
I would do a QR.
I wouldn't mess with it right now.
okay. Well, I mean, the signs come on and off the sandwich board, so if we want different signs for different events, different times of year,
Yeah.
things like that. The signs are about $30 each, so $60 for the pair.
Yeah, it's not bad for something we can use years and years down the road, so
Yeah.
I think that's a good setup.
Okay,
Perfect.
will do.
And no date on it, because then we can reuse it next year.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
Or
just
for any Parks and Rec event.
event,
Right.
yeah, it's just our info, letting people know that we're there and supporting it.
That was,
Um,
yeah,
Okay.
your tax dollars at work.
Yep. Holiday decorations.
I know there are some at Chase Park. The rest of them, I believe, are in one of those two buildings at Heinessen.
Okay.
I don't remember who we get the tree from,
I don't
so
remember.
that'll be a
one of the
question.
Eldon Towns, I wanna say, donated it last year.
Was it donated by the towns?
So we just need to start figuring out that portion of it. Are we gonna try to coordinate again with, I know that we delayed the tree lighting in doing it with the
Fire department.
fire department and the parade, maybe a little late. I mean, I'd go ahead and light it right after.
Yeah, no, I
Thank
agree.
you.
So yeah, we bought all those decorations last year.
Yep,
Um,
there's decoration and there should be lights in there too.
I would like to coordinate with PTO again as well. I know they're planning on doing an event. And we'll have to, so basically, we need to coordinate between PTO, ourselves, and the fire department to avoid kind of the minor conflict we had last year with timing and everything, because PTO had Santa visiting for them, and then luckily Santa was able to show up and go on the fire trucks for everybody in town, so we just need to keep that coordination going on, so we're all on the same page. Do we have anybody who would like to volunteer to head up the gazebo decorations and Christmas involvement from us?
I'm happy to spearhead it. I mean, I feel like I was there for when the tree went up last year to help get that thing anchored in place and
Okay.
I'll second it with you, that way I can be there and maybe next year I can help out a little bit more.
I think it's pretty quick and easy, really, just as
Yeah.
far as, a couple wreaths, some garland, and
Yeah. I mean, maybe we get some fresh wreaths, because the garland is already purchased and stored. The lights are
I
already
don't
stored.
remember what's in storage.
Okay.
I
We'll
know we
have
have some
to,
I know there's some I know that there are some bows and things like that.
do a little deeper dive in October.
yeah, let's get a
This
better
thing.
idea what we have, get an inventory going, and then
Okay.
October, November, we can decide if we need to purchase anything else. And we'll reach out and see if we can get someone to donate a tree for us again for this coming year for the gazebo.
Sometimes lights and things get spoiled.
Yeah, yeah. Well, stuff goes
Yeah,
bad.
do a little test run, make sure they plug in and actually light up versus the
One light
Clark
goes out, they all
Griswold.
go out.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, Kyle, thank you for doing that, buddy. I
That'll
appreciate
be
it.
easy. I can probably piggyback that right off of our, little setup.
Yep. All right, CIP discussion.
Unfortunately, we have to have it in by next
Next week,
Tuesday, I think,
Tuesday.
the 23rd.
Yep.
So I think that's something that I think we're gonna have to pass for it for this year, but I think as far as our overall calendar, this is something we really need to be working on in March and April,
Agreed.
and so that we have it lined up so that we can do it. I know that eventually we're gonna have to look to replace the tennis courts, cause,
Yep.
you know, the project that we did, we're coming up on the end of I think we're coming up on the end of their 5 years of useful,
Yeah, I think
useful life.
this,
It's getting to the point where,
The Band-Aid's falling off the bullet
I
hole.
think this year was the last of the time frame they gave us for
right,
the usability of the court. So tennis courts is going to be a priority. I do think we need to focus on that. We're gonna have to skip it this year, other than saying tennis courts are a priority, I guess.
right.
And we can do our CIP with our 5 and 10 year plan over the winter. Like you said, have it completed early and ahead of time, so we can just hand it in and we're done with it. But the quiet months is the time for us to address that, and
Right.
we have a lot of stuff that we need to address on it. The next 5 years is gonna be stuff that needs to be replaced, whether we like it or not. So, we need to get
The other
that stuff.
thing we, especially on that is, we need to find out how much space we really truly have up there, whether we've got more space behind, further back. I don't know where the property lines are, so we gotta get a property map, cause if you could end up making it even another 6 or 8 feet, then you could put 2 pickleball only courts.
Just behind or whatever.
So you have 2 tennis courts and then 2 pickleball only courts, and then obviously realign it so that you could technically have 6 pickleball courts. And as pickleball continues to grow, I know my kids have used it for pickleballs a couple times this past summer.
Okay, so is everybody comfortable with me? I'll just throw together something real quick that tennis courts are a priority and we need to have someone come out and tell, we need to start finding out what it's gonna cost. That's what we need to ask from the CIP, is we need somebody to come out, spend the money to have someone come out and tell us what it's gonna cost to replace those courts.
Denise was referencing it was deep into 7 figures,
Yeah. Yes,
and that was,
years and years ago.
yeah.
Yeah. But I think at this time, the only thing we can really ask for the CIP is,
Yeah.
can you spend the money to have someone come out and tell us what it's gonna cost?
Lay the
to
roadmap.
replace? Yeah, exactly. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
I will get that, turned in. Yeah, I think you said the date was Tuesday. All right,
One option is just put it out to bid and see what,
just shop bids, period.
yeah, maybe we're gonna have to do that anyway.
True.
But the question would be, this is what, this is where it is, all the old stuff needs to go away, and all the brand new stuff needs to come in.
Yeah.
It needs to be written up quite a bit better than just that.
Yeah, I
But
mean, I'm not,
that may be the engineering study that needs to be done, what is it that we actually need to do to write up the RFP?
okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna like write a whole book report on it, but
No,
at least be clean saying this is exactly what we need.
What about playing fields? Is this a place that we ask for?
Normally, yes. This year slid by us and we didn't put the time in to find out what exactly we need. Roughly, we know that The football field has had lots of complaints about its condition. It definitely needs some work done to it. Purington is what Purington is. I don't think it would be appropriate for us to ask for funds to improve it by much, because all you can really do at this point is drop sand and dirt, try and level it, as far as the holes that appear all the time. I don't think we're gonna, would we ever consider asking for irrigation out there? I don't think it's worth it. It's mainly a soccer field that's used twice a year and a backup for some other sports. Other than that,
Well, Purington's used every Saturday, isn't it, for soccer? Yeah,
Yeah, for little kids.
that's what I'm saying,
soccer.
just little
Yeah.
kid soccer,
yeah.
you know.
And Bolton's in tough shape too. I mean,
is.
there's patches of gravel in Bolton that just aren't gonna come back by
Yeah.
putting grass seed on it and
Um,
hoping it rains.
But I think at this time, trying to write up all of that without having details, other than, hey, the field's in rough shape,
Yeah.
at this time. That needs to be a focus for next winter when we put everything together, and that'll be part of our 5-year plan.
Right.
And our 10-year plan, because
Yeah.
the other thing is, how do we and what do we need to expand for fields? We've all know the conversation that's been going on all year. We're not gonna go there right now, but yeah, we do need to have a conversation about, do we need to expand fields, do we need to have new fields, et cetera.
We need locations to be able to even put fields.
Exactly.
If that's kind of step one in our whole process. As far as, now that we have a representative from WAC is saying, hey, here's what we need as far as, we need X number of softball fields, we need X number of little kid soccer fields, this many big fields, and then we can kind of go, okay, we can put 4 little kid soccer fields on Purington, and then, we've got the one at Ingersoll. If you're or the one down at Purington, if you were to play, or Purington, Bolton, if you were to move that around and change, you may be able to get two of the smaller soccer fields on there, because I know the one at, how big's the one at Bolton?
It's, in terms of yards,
Yeah,
it's 70 yards by 50.
yeah. Whether
You won't get 2 there. I don't think you won't get 2 there.
unless
I
we-
try to move it around every year when I line it, but there's still areas that overlap, and then lacrosse comes in and does whatever they do and
Right.
dig their holes, and soccer digs their holes, and everybody's got holes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would think, I'm sorry, go ahead.
One thing that I would say that
Come up to the-
desperately need on all
What?
the fields.
You have to use the mic,
Yeah.
or we can't hear you.
One thing that I would say that we desperately need at all the ball fields is infield sand. There's just, the infield sand, the pile of infield sand that we have that I've heard you guys address before is not infield sand. It is not a good enough quality to use. Those kids are gonna hurt themselves if we try and use that. We really just need infield sand for all of those fields.
Okay.
I mean, we've been making do the best we can, using our lime and stuff like that, but they all need a good, fresh, new load of sand. It's gotten to the point where I've started to look at how much it would cost me to do it out of my own pocket, because I don't want the kids getting
It's
hurt.
10 yards per location, is it 20 yards per location?
I don't have the
know.
exact yardage count. I didn't get that deep into it, but I know all the coaches have complained about that specifically.
Yeah,
I think that's-
I know that it, we start looking at it, and you're looking at, depending on what you need for depth, 20 to 30 yards at Ingersoll, just to fix that one, because we were looking at, and then you're looking at the same thing down at Bolton is, actually, that field, I think, has got more, it's a wider base pass. around.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah,
baseball
that
fields
That
are
one, you're
bigger.
probably
Big
looking
ball
at,
field.
20 to 30 yards at each field, so even if you're going on the high side of 30 yards a field, that's 60 yards just on those two. Then you add in the one at Purington, and Purington is all, unless we put in grass on the infield and make it a kind of it's more or less, I would classify as a softball field. So you're looking at another 20 to 30 yards there, so.
It
we're
used
looking
to
at
have grass, it used to have grass on the infield.
Yeah,
Very
it-
About 100 years.
Listen, I know it's gonna be a hard sell to the people of the town, but one thing you guys may wanna consider at some point here is getting somebody out to look at doing turf on these fields. It'll save you, it'll cost money up front, but it'll save you a fortune in the long run when it comes to maintenance.
I mean, it's something we can discuss.
I mean, like, it's not a right now thing, obviously, but just as somebody that's been around sports for quite a while now, I played my entire life, I've been coaching for the last 5 to 7 years, like,
There's still, unfortunately, maintenance on the turf, and the turf, you actually have to almost protect it more.
there's minimal maintenance on turf compared to grass fields. I used to deal with them at Goffstown High School all the time because I used to play on Goffstown High School football fields. And there's minimal maintenance compared to what we're dealing with now for all these fields.
I think it's something to discuss.
Yeah.
Again, over the winter when it's
Yeah.
quiet and we can handle those kinds of things. As far as the sand, we should probably be able to address that over the winter and have it done in the spring. We need to get bids to, how much do we need and what's it gonna cost us before we can make a move on it. But I think that's something we can try to get out of the budget and have done in the spring.
I just don't know what you guys' budget is, but that's one thing that I know for a fact, all the coaches have said about that. So that's just something that I figured I'd bring up before you guys close that down.
I mean, all the fields in general work. I mean, that's just,
Unfortunately, we have this many teams using them, they get beat down
Exactly.
extremely quickly, so.
exactly, yep.
That's why I recommended the turf, because while it does get beat down, it doesn't get beat down as badly, as quickly.
Yep. No, they definitely, they're overused for what we need. And then again, that's something to address in the 5-year, to try and expand all that.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay. So, yeah, I think, again, for right now, for the CIP, I'll just address the biggest issue facing us financially is the tennis courts. And then we'll work on the rest over the winter. We can be prepared for next year. Let's move on to our field updates. Bolton,
I guess I had thought that the irrigation people were gonna be there today and meet with me or whoever it was, and that didn't happen. Maybe I misunderstood, or we miscommunicated. But the problem with the pump cycling on and off every 2 minutes is still there.
It
I
is.
went down there today. I did find that there are 2 feeds, well,
Yeah, there's a major
there are
leak
2 feeds
somewhere.
out of there. It looks like both of them leak because there's condensation on both of the lines, but one of them leaks a little bit and one of them leaks a lot.
okay,
So seriously, the pump goes from 45 PSI to 70, and then within 2 minutes, it's dropped back down to 45. It cycles on
yeah,
and
it's
off.
just, yeah,
And I shut off that one feed
Okay.
today. I don't know the ramifications of that, where it's not gonna get water, but we're gonna burn out our pump.
yeah, no, absolutely, it will.
I also noticed, I was down there Saturday at 1:30, and the softball field was being watered with the irrigation system at 1:30 in the afternoon. I thought that was strange.
Needs to be reprogrammed.
It does, again,
They should be cycling on at night,
Yeah.
cycling on at night and running through all the,
Yeah.
I thought they had set it up that it was running through all of the zones.
It could have been an AM, PM mistake, I don't know. As I know, as I got out of my truck and got wet.
so the last we have on that in the chat from Kristen was you guys had tried to arrange for noon. She was supposed to confirm that on Monday. Did she ever reach out to you about that?
I was there at noon and there was nobody there.
Okay, so she might not have been able to get it happen on the
Okay.
irrigation company side.
I'm still willing to do that, I'm close by,
Okay.
I'm,
We just need to have Kristen reach out to the irrigation
Okay.
company and get that arranged, because we do need to address it before we have to spend serious money, and we do not need to be spending serious money on irrigation again. It just needs to be fixed. We've had them out 5 times this year, something like that, and we're still dealing with problems.
yeah, I mean, the leak is not visible. I walked all around all the fields, I mean, there's no,
Buried somewhere.
it's not
probably.
bubbling up through the ground.
Okay.
I'll also try to run over there tomorrow morning and just throw a pressure gauge on the water tank and just see, because sometimes they just naturally lose a little bit of air out of them. So if the thing doesn't have enough compression
Okay.
inside of it, then
I
it will
don't think we should be
keep,
playing with the equipment at
but
this
it's not playing
I
with
know
it,
what
it's
you're
just
talking
giving an
about, yeah.
actual measurement
Yeah.
of, here's where we are.
I mean, the bladder on my well quit earlier this year. And it
This
was
is a
doing
brand
the
new
same thing.
bladder. This
That's
is a
what I
brand
thought,
new, yeah.
But,
And it's going between 45 and 70
Yeah.
PSI.
yeah,
Just, but you could see what the bladder's at, that's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
they just needed to look, they need to look at the entire system. We need to have this straight.
Yep,
It just needs to get done.
yep.
So, yeah, if we can have Krista reach out to them again.
Yeah.
then
And if she can
coordinate.
keep me in the loop, I'll go down and meet with them
Okay.
or be there and tell them what I've seen.
Okay. It might be easier if we just give you the irrigation company info and you can work it if you prefer.
I'd like Kristen to do the introductions.
Okay.
And then after that, I can follow up.
Okay. So Kristen, if you could do that, get the introduction set up, get an appointment set up, so we can continue on with that. Anything else, with Bolton right now? Other than the football field getting shredded?
Do you have the locks for the gates? The,
For the field gates,
for the gates that go around the fields, not the main gate? Can I have those to put them on? Because they're hanging open and it's just inviting people to
yep,
drive through.
yep.
And I'll get a piece of chain and put them on and,
We just wanna make sure it's the same code as what the or the
Yeah.
football field is at.
yeah,
And then what we need to do is when you put them on, you need to let me know. Say in the group chat, the locks are on.
Yeah.
So then we can let Carter know
yeah,
that we put them on and it's the same code, it's all,
okay.
because we used to have three different codes
Yep.
for the different fields. And
Let's have a Bolton code and then we'll be done.
Yeah, just we'll have a Bolton field code
Yeah.
is different than the front door.
Yeah.
The front gate code.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
but,
Yeah, I know General's, they've already complained to me about the football field being shredded. It really does need to be overseeded in the spring, and, 'cause like, obviously, this fall, it's too late.
yeah,
But in the spring, we need to ask, we need to have it overseeded, we need to try and get it in better shape.
yeah.
Um,
I would say the soccer field too, and the softball field
Yeah.
are pretty,
Baseball.
baseball.
Baseball, yeah.
I keep saying that,
That other ball field.
the other ball field.
the other sport field. Other than that, I think Bolton is okay, other than what we know we need to do with the playground. That's just a continuing issue while we could try to find the time to coordinate. Chase Park, how we doing out at Chase?
Going good?
Good?
Yep, we're now down to 10 to 4 through the rest of the weekends, and we will be open 10 to 4 Saturday, Sunday, and Monday of Columbus Day weekend. I know Kristen, you will sometimes pull the lines the weekend before Columbus Day. It comes down to is, do we want, I started pricing lines, and I found line is not that expensive. It's the buoys that are the expensive part. So I'm still trying to get pricing on the buoys. It depends on the size of the rope as to the size of the buoy.
Sure.
I have Beth looking to try to find when we purchased them. The wake buoys that we purchased are now actually 5 years old. We purchased them back in 2020. I think we purchased them at the end of 2020, so they may have only been technically out for 4 years.
Yeah.
They're actually in excellent shape.
Okay.
They get power washed at the end of every season. The question becomes is, until we hit for sure on the buoys, do we want to have them power wash them and store the lines until we're sure? Or do we want to just chuck them?
I would prefer
I would
to
store
have
them.
them cleaned and stored.
Okay,
Yeah.
Just in
Just
case.
in case, yeah.
okay.
Yep. Is there anything we need to start addressing or talking about for over the winter, things that we need at Chase Park, niceties, stuff like that?
I will check
Okay.
to see, we have the 6 new picnic tables that got put in. Last time I saw them, they all looked good. They will all go under the cover for this year. We will also, all the scout benches that were donated will be put over. What do we want to be doing with the scout benches at the tennis courts? Usually, I think last year we just left them there.
I think we did just leave them up there.
They're all inside the fence, aren't they?
Yeah.
One might be outside, but that could be put in.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
I think
leaving
that would be
behind
a-
the fence.
That
Okay.
seems like a good
Nobody
thing.
can get at them.
Well, no, it's not more of getting at them, it's more of,
The weather.
just the weather.
They're PT, aren't they?
They're all pressure treated wood, yeah.
Okay.
We just
talked
put them
about-
underneath, all the ones at Chase get removed and put in under the cover, and they're all cable locked down just to,
So they don't walk away?
Could we maybe get like a tarp or something to just, if they're not gonna go back to Chase Park, maybe we get a tarp and a couple bungee cords and
yes, and then, oh, speaking, yeah, we
just
get
to
to
try and save them.
Yeah,
But, okay, so I will have them wash the swim lines.
thank you.
We were gonna stripe the parking, things and put a, handicap space in
Yep.
too.
Yeah, Kristen was supposed to be talking to DPW about that. Do we have an update on that yet or no?
Nope.
Okay. It doesn't need to happen this year anyway. It's probably something that they'll be able to plan for in the spring.
We also really need to fill in the cracks.
Yeah, there's a lot of tar work that needs to be done. And that's maybe something else we can address in the 5-year plan is that whole parking lot and road coming in general, could use, a repaving. It's a little rough in some areas, and I think we could at least include it in a plan.
What about the boat ramp?
Yeah, what about the primary boat ramp and that old secondary? We can talk about those as
If you're
well.
if you're gonna have somebody pave it, you
Yeah.
might as well just put it in for a price.
Yeah,
I'm doing Lakes Hats Low.
Yeah.
didn't we have to have them dump a bunch of gravel or something at the end of the boat ramp?
Yes.
Okay, so
All
that's
the prop
definitely something
wash Gets
else.
chewed up.
Yeah,
It's something that happens at the, every year once they do the winter drawdown, you have to kind of go in and with shovels or get the town to go in and with the excavator and pull the rock back when he
Yeah.
gets time, but
something we can address again in the winter, make part of the
we can look at it in the winter before we get ice on it.
Okay.
And then, as far as the winter on Chase, I would say probably sometime January, we'd open it, but then again, we take no responsibility for the ice being safe to go on.
Yep.
It's use at your own risk, and
Do we still have those snow fences that we were gonna put up to block off access to everything but the ramps? Did we even do that last year?
No.
no, we
No,
put
we
up, we
didn't.
put up, I know that they've got some of the stakes, that they just put stakes along, basically, so while it's ground is thaw, we can have them put up whatever stakes they've got along enough to keep, and with opening up the gate, the boat ramp gate, we hope that people will be smart enough to take their Bob House on and off, on and off through that and not go up the hill and ruin.
Oh, come on, I wanted to go right past the pavilion, use the beach. I think that's the best way to do it. I'm
Yes,
kidding,
and
by the
locking down the, all the picnic tables help prevent. I don't think we had any walk down to the lake this past year.
Yeah, I don't remember anything. Okay. While we're on Chase, I just want to say thank you for letting scouts go down there. As scouts, we asked permission to have a campfire, 2-hour program or so down at Chase, and we had staff there to keep the bathrooms open and whatnot. So from PAC 24, they would like to say thank you for allowing us to do that. It was very much appreciated. The other thing I had with Chase is I want to address for next year, a burn, if we want to allow fires at Chase Park, and if we do, there's a process, so.
I would keep it the kind of the way we have it now, which is, it happens occasionally they bring in a propane and they run it off of liquid propane. Doing coals and things like that, I think we're just asking for
Too much trouble.
trouble. Where we have younger staff there, having a 16, 17-year-old going up and telling an adult that, no, you can't be burning charcoal is not something. And I think that's something we need to maybe put on the list coming in, that no open fires or
Yeah.
anything else like that. That's just part of the thing that they just rattle off every single time. And
Yep.
we just add that to our list of no open flames.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Because especially now with the burn,
Yeah.
they can't really do it anyway.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, maybe, I think, attached to that, we maybe need to update the signs at Chase, for some of the stuff that, just bringing up stuff like that, no open flame, no fire, stuff like that. I think the signs at Chase could probably use some updating.
Well, there's a lot of them, for one thing. They're
That's
kind of
true.
all
Yeah.
bunches of them, and maybe they need to be consolidated.
Yeah,
type
I
of
think
thing.
that's something we can look at, maybe spend a little bit of money on to update the signs, to make it cleaner and not so disorganized. Okay,
I had one thing at Bolton, just an FYI.
Yes, sir.
Football delivered their new pod
okay,
thing, and it's just sitting there, it looks fine.
okay,
But I just noticed it was there
thank you,
today.
okay. Anything else on Chase? Okay, let's go on to Einison. We know we're making some progress on the concession stand, shed issue, and having the, trash and debris behind it cleaned up. We got the WAC representative to work with us on that. We discussed the landscaping. I haven't personally looked at the fields in Einison. What kind of shape are they in? Has anybody been down there?
I have not.
Okay,
The last time I drove by, they looked
fine.
Yeah, I was down there the other day, they looked okay.
Okay, cool. I know the one problem we have at Einison, and again, it's something to talk about in the 5-year, is, field flooding, with heavy rains. It don't, that does almost as much damage as it being dried out. So maybe that's something we can address also in our 5 and 10-year plan, is getting somebody out and seeing if there's some thing we can do to address, drainage on that field. Because we just end up spending more money trying to fix the damage, or have to put off stuff for WAC because they're so bad. Purington,
I think it's, Einstein is, I think especially in the spring when we have all the rain, is we need to know where it's pooling.
yep,
So is it pooling behind, so we kind of know the areas, and whether we end up putting in French drains just to try to help drain off the water and things like that. So knowing where it's pooling will help.
yeah, absolutely.
Sounds like we've got 30 weeks of rain in a row before we go into another drought. It'd be a good time to
Yeah.
Yeah.
check out when.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Purington, I think we covered everything in Purington pretty much earlier,
Yeah.
when we spoke to WAC. Tennis courts, gazebo, skate park. I mean, gazebo and skate park all look fine. The landscapers are doing a really good job around it.
The gazebo field, actually, they need to clean the weeds from the curb. So where
Okay.
it comes down and goes basically all the way up and all the way down. The two sides, because obviously the two road sides, there's no curbing, but on the other two going entrance basically into the school and then going down by the school, parallel with the school, is weeds are all grown up in there. They need to go and weed whack them. I know that they went and they sprayed, they got somebody to come in and spray the skate park, so they don't have, that's not as bad. grown up with weeds, but I noticed on the gazebo, that something needs to be addressed.
Okay.
On the tennis courts, we need to start talking, obviously, next month, we need to kind of vote on when we wanna pull down the nets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then when we pull down the nets, we also need to change the code on the lock.
Yeah, for the next year, yeah.
And basically say, thank you very much, tennis courts are closed to tennis and pickleball till the spring,
Okay,
and lock it up.
yeah.
Maybe we can get with Denise and see what she would recommend.
Wasn't she gonna organize some people coming in and filling some of the cracks at the end of this season?
Don't remember.
I think it was actually in the minutes.
That was the
but-
beginning of the season, but they kinda just keep pickleball a little more
I don't
Yeah,
know,
it might be another.
tame.
but I thought she would, I don't know. I'm not gonna go through the minutes, but I thought it was in there that they had some volunteers who were gonna fill them in at the end of the season. Anyway, we just wanna make sure if she wants to do that, that we'll let her into,
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, Kristen said there were plans in place to repair the cracks in the tennis courts this fall with help from volunteers. We'll address them in the CIP. So if we can just get an update from Kristen on that, see where it's at, they might be kicking the can down the road and doing it in the spring, who knows? Do we need to call Kristen and get some updates from her?
Still on the school board meeting.
Okay, if you could just ask her to go over the stuff
Yep.
and give us updates as
Yep.
needed,
Mhm.
I would appreciate that. Future business, like we spoke about, we need to address our 5-year and 10-year plan. We need to address what we're gonna do with CIP for next year. As of right now, I think we've gone over everything. I don't know of anything that's coming up. So if there's no other issues or conversation,
One thing before I forget is
Sure.
that I do have the contact for the gentleman that welded up the slide
okay,
over in Claremont.
yeah,
So I just need to organize a couple of minutes to run over there,
okay.
get it picked up and back in town.
Okay, did we find out, speaking of, did we find out anything about the playground, the sandbox materials from Denise?
No,
Did you
I
reach
can
out to
certainly
her
follow-
and ask for,
yeah, I do have the usage, the field usage,
okay,
and then I'll follow up with her, I'll ask about the sandbox.
all right. That is something, we need to figure out what's going on with the access to the supposed Google Drive or Microsoft Drive and what documents are on it.
She said that she has been locked out of that, and that she thought that, it might be Naomi has the master login for it.
Okay.
You can check with Naomi, or you can check with Pam Wool.
Okay.
Okay. If you could do that, so we can find out what
Yeah.
we have on hand, if you don't mind.
I'll
Or I
follow up
can-
with Pam and Naomi about,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and find out what we have, what info we have in there, and then the info that we need to get in there. There's a lot of documents that we finished up
Yeah.
with that I know I don't have on hand.
Yeah, and at that, and I know that Denise did a lot of work, and I know it's out there, is she did an inventory of every field and everything,
Yeah,
what we had for, at each location as far as buildings and structure, and physical structures and things like that,
yeah.
so,
And that's just, I just know that we don't have physical copies of that, so did it get uploaded, or does she still have the physical copies?
no, I think it got all uploaded.
Okay.
It was uploaded before Denise
Yeah, so
left.
sounds like just get logged onto Drive and let it rip from there.
Okay, cool. All right, if there's nothing else, we can go ahead and get a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Closed at 8:38.
Vinny, thanks for all the intel.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Vinny.
no, seriously, thank you.
Whatever I can do, it's really about